Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's Tanya Zampieri with eXp Realty, and I figured it was so beautiful out on this early February day. It's very spring-like here in North Carolina, so I decided to come outside and hang out with my plants that I put out until the big freeze comes again, which I'm sure we'll see another one. But it's weather like this that really makes you start thinking if you are going to be buying a home this year, what that's all going to look like. And so I decided to put together some material on top home buying challenges for 2019 and, more importantly, how to avoid them. You know, what constitutes a home or a dream home is going to vary from person to person. But what most people I talk to want is something that's affordable and fits in their budget. And there's really been a problem with affordable housing, as if you've been searching, you realize, throughout most of the country and certainly here in the Triangle and the Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill area of North Carolina. And part of that is that there's just more people out there buying. So supply and demand, there hasn't been enough built, and so that lack of supply and the high demand is driving up costs. But what else is more expensive is, because of the same things, land, labor, and materials have all gotten more expensive. The only thing that hasn't gotten more expensive at the same rate is, of course, pay. And so more and more people are having a hard time finding something that really fits into their budget or in an amount of money that they want to pay. Investors also, big companies with big, deep top pockets that can close in a week and pay cash, are hard to go up against when you're a buyer that has to get a loan. And then finally, there's so few homes on the market that people really, want, that of course there's multiple bid scenarios, which drives up the costs. And because people are willing to pay that, they do get appraised at that amount, which continues the trend to higher priced homes. So it's unfortunate, but those are the reasons why we are seeing so few homes that are affordable for people. And I can understand completely how frustrating and disappointing and overwhelming it must be if you are considering or want to or need to buy a home in 2019. You're either dealing with higher rentals that are going up in price, so there's no way to control when that gets increased, but usually at the end of your lease every year, or you're potentially outgrowing your current home. Your family has grown and you really just need to get into something different. And so what I want to talk about are some big challenges to consider and why it's more important than ever to establish a relationship with a reputable, experienced realtor versus using so much online. Okay, the number one reason that there's such a big challenge with that is that we are flooded with data on the web. I mean, flooded. Right? So much is inaccurate out there, and it's really starting to hit a fever pitch, which makes me really nervous. I mean, sites like Zillow and other home searching sites are fine, except the problem is that they do not provide accurate data, since they are not speaking with the multiple listing service constantly. And so there's a lot of houses that look like they're for sale, but they're already under contract. And then if you happen to want to click something to see a house, and you have to put in your personal data, and then you get all these companies that are texting and calling and emailing you, and then you just wanted to start looking, but because of the fact that they need your information in order, it's like a bait and switch, right? And so it gets super confusing, super annoying. The number two thing is, while we're on our devices, whether it be a smartphone or a laptop computer, the machine learning that has really taken off in the last few years. So when you decide to search for something, or somebody searches for something on your computer, you see that item, that tent that you want to get for this summer's camping trip or something, constantly in your feed. Same goes for houses. And again, it's like tempting you in and advertising at you so that you give your information, and you get bombarded with people that want to work with you and sell you something, or and it really is frustrating on our side as well. because it gives, at least for me, I don't like how it gives our industry a bad name, because this is a big expense and it's a very big purchase, probably the largest anybody will ever make. And so having it be so diluted with all of this internet bullshit, frankly, is really disheartening, and it's annoying, and it's nonstop. So, and it's a turnoff. So, what else pops up, of course, is us realtors. And we are not all created equal, just like any other industry. There's about 8,000 here in the Triangle alone. Probably 2,000 or more of those have only had their license in the last year, so they're very inexperienced. Another probably at least 2,000, it's impossible to know, only do it part-time, or so they have a regular full-time job, or they're retired, or they are not in the business anymore, but they keep their license active. And so it's really a luck of the draw if you do find a realtor online, what kind of experience and expertise they do have. A lot of the teams that are out there advertising heavily, you're not going to work with that person. You're going to be passed off to perhaps a newer agent on their team, and they're paying a lot of money for those leads that you fall in on, and so they charge that agent a lot of money. And so it's a business model that's been happening for a while. I did work on a team at one time. It was not for me, and that's why I'm an independent agent, and I work with both buyers and sellers. Last but not least, I should say, is new home construction. Okay, so if you go into a new home community, and by the way, just in this market alone, there's probably at least 30. Okay, so there's a lot. And they're obviously highly competitive with each other, and they're constantly having different homes that they have available, different special incentives they have available, and they change constantly. And then the quality of construction amongst the builders it's varies widely, I should say. So there are really things you need to consider, and that's why, again, using an experienced agent who knows the quality builders out there compared to the non-quality builders, who has relationships with the sales consultants at the builder. Many buyers think that when they go into a new home community without a realtor, or without saying they're working with a buyer's agent realtor, that they're going to actually get a better deal, right? Because they think, well, if I don't bring in an agent, then I'll save that commission and they'll take it off the price. They don't take it off the price. That's already built into their model, and you're actually probably leaving money on the table because you have nobody representing you. You don't know what things have sold for in that neighborhood. There's just so many different things that we know to do when working with new construction communities. I'm not saying that across the board that you can't get a great person and that you'll be fine and everything is smooth. But they're definitely not representing you. When you walk into that new home community, they are representing the builder. Okay, so just know that as a buyer's agent, exclusive buyer's agent, we can represent you, and it does not make any difference on your behalf except for you're going to get most likely a better deal, and you're going to be protected because we're going to walk you through the steps to make sure that you're buying a sound home. So given all this, I can understand how the general public's really fed up with this industry. It has been chugging along like this for a while, and before I even got my real estate license, I bought and sold my own house, and I also had a bad experience with a realtor one time. So I get the disdain for the real estate industry, and I talk openly with people about it because I really try to set myself apart. There's tons of great agents out there, and regardless of where you are, whether you're here in the Triangle area or elsewhere, I hope that you do have a great agent. If you don't, I can help you find one, or I can work with you. But, between not wanting to overpay and not wanting to be disappointed and pressured, it's a tough time to think about buying a home. So, and I know that many people think it's out of reach and that it's impossible, but I am here to tell you that buying a home can be easy, and with me, it is. So, I have helped countless buyers get into their dream home. In several cases, especially lately in the last couple of years, I have helped buyers get into a home where there were multiple offers on the table. I have my tricks of the trade, and I will not stop when somebody says, I want this house, Tanya. I get the house. And I can never make a guarantee, of course, but, and this is, of course, not with cash. So I want you to keep in mind that it is not an impossible task to get a house that you want, and affordable house nonetheless. And I really do care about. I'm not in this business for the money, okay? And the number one thing I can tell you to avoid what I've just gone over, and to just stay out of the drama and the train wreck of the home buying situation right now, is you must be prepared, okay? And there's 3 simple steps to doing that. Number 1 is schedule a meeting with me. Number 2, together we will create our home buying strategy, your home buying strategy, based on your timeline and your needs. And number 3, we will execute on that strategy together as a team and get you into that dream home. When you work with me, there are no surprises. If you're a brand new buyer or haven't done it in a long time, I will educate you and walk you through every step of the process. Okay? If you've done it many times and it's not your first rodeo, just tell me and we will make sure that you're not inundated with information. So as I said before, it's people first, not commissions. Of course, I have to keep a roof over my head and make a living like everybody else, but I am not in this industry for the money. Also, I guide, but you decide. Okay, being a homeowner is a very personal thing, and it's got to be the right home for you, but you can become a homeowner with me by your side. And if you're not quite ready to pull the trigger, I do have people talk to me when they're a year or more out, just to get educated. But if you're not ready for that, I have many things over on my website, over at tonyaz.com. That's TONIAZ.com, that you can educate yourself on, set yourself up on a home search. I also have an exclusive mobile app called Home Spotter, which gets you information on homes directly into the MLS. You're not dealing with dated information. You're dealing with up-to-date, up-to-the-minute information. Actually, I think it might be up to the hour, but much better than what's out there, and you will not get hassled, and you can send me the house in the app. It's brilliant, okay? So let me help so that you can get into your dream home and not stress out, not overpay, and really get on to the joyful things of owning your own home, whether that's, the fun stuff, like maybe it's planting your own garden or decorating the way that you've always wanted to decorate your own home, your own walls, right? And then, of course, the summer's going to be here before we know it, and you want to be out there grilling. So let's talk, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. And if you want to reach out via text or phone, it's 919-609-5206. Tanya here. Have a great week, everybody. Bye.